for us to rebuild, to take stock of our situation, and to return to our roots as explorers. We've recently noticed that a star in an unexplored system near Ferenginar has become unstable. There's nothing to indicate any change to its stellar life cycle, so this is a perfect opportunity for us to chart the system, investigate the star, and improve our understanding of what's happening. I want you to head up this investigation. Find out why this star is suddenly dying, and make sure it isn't going to be a threat to any nearby worlds or systems.
I'm Tenora Zuval. Let's get started. My preliminary observations show some kind of unknown stellar problem. This unexplored system near Ferenginar is undergoing solar death. Basically, it's as if the star is going out suddenly, but there's no good reason. We need to get close enough to take some readings and see what we can figure out. radiation. Try reducing the gain on your sensors. Initial results don't make any sense. The star's core reactions are failing, but it still has so much mass that it should be conducting fusion. It's as if it suddenly decided that it was no longer going to do hydrogen fusion, just heavier fusion processes. This kind of matter is ejected during coronal events. We should be able to collect some with your ship's ramskers if we head to one of the ejection zones. Results are coming in now. This still isn't making any sense. It's as if the star's life cycle was suddenly accelerated somehow, but it never went through an expansion cycle. There's no good explanation for this yet. Maybe something else in the system caused it. If this is system-wide, we should find evidence of similar problems, with nuclear and chemical reactions in the system's gaseous bodies. There's a large amount of gaseous stellar matter further from the star. We should have no trouble checking that hypothesis. This is very strange. Usually nebulae are massive clouds between star systems. Finding a micronebula in a system like this is quite rare. This may be the result of an event such as a cosmic stream, shearing through a gas giant and turning it back into particulate matter. I'll need some more readings to know for certain. All the particulate matter will make your ship's sensors unreliable beyond a few kilometers, and shields will be offline. The best we'll be able to do is to check small areas until we get close to something unusual. We should head to where the deionized particle density is highest. coming in now. Nothing unusual coming in from the nebula, but those Tholian ships were quite far from home. Unfortunately, they can't give us answers. Looks like there's some heavy ionization on the far side of the nebula, though. As if it's receiving some kind of reflected radiation from one of the gas giants.
Unknown vessel. This is Administrator Kumar K. Please provide identification. Welcome to Lukari. Visitors here are rare, but we're always gratified by the chance to meet and exchange information with travelers. I regret that you have arrived at a difficult time. You may have noticed that our home star has become unstable. I'm leading a project to try to reignite the star. Unfortunately, we've already suffered severe disruptions, and we have a lot of problems to tackle right now. Yes, we've previously had contact with the Zenkethi and the Ferengi. We've heard a bit about the Teferi and the Breen, but they haven't ever been to our system. Our home world provides for all of our raw material needs, along with a few mining outposts around the asteroids and the gas giant. We've never had a compelling need to engage in space exploration. Now that our sun is going out, we're scrambling everything we've got to see if we can find a solution or a way to evacuate at least a few of our people. These problems started only recently, just a few days ago. Our astronomers noted a significant shift in the star's output, and now it looks like it's guttering and dying. If we can't solve this problem, it's the end of our species. I'm the project leader for our solar probe team. We're going to try to restart fusion with a quantum chromodynamic accretion burst, but honestly, this is a colossal problem, and it may be beyond us. We have a solar probe ready that contains the booster module that needs to be fired into the star. It's capable of warp 2. There's a problem, though. The probe's remote navigation systems don't work. All of the interference from the solar flaring and guttering is blocking the signal. Could your ship get a trajectory plot so that we could set a pre-programmed course? now. I'll have my engineers prepare the probe. Let's see if this works. The probe's made it out of orbit. Engaging secondary boosters to head out of planetary range. It's gone to warp. The probe is arriving at the solar corona. Deploying chromodynamic booster. No effect. It didn't work. Repeat. Well, it didn't work. That was our one shot. Thank you for trying to help. I'm not sure what to try next. Maybe we can evacuate a few people. Not going to give up. But the situation is grim. If your people can offer any other help, we will welcome it. But I just don't see a way to relocate 8 billion people in the next few hours.
Congratulations, Admiral. Congratulations, Admiral.
My name is Cal Dano. Looks like I've arrived at the perfect time. I'm here to help with the problem with this star. I'm a scientist, and I have some specialized knowledge that can help.
With apologies for the interruption, this is my home star. My people are the ones at risk here. If you have some way to reverse this process, my people should be involved. All right, I'm willing to do so, but it will take me a little while to get a shuttle out there. As you might imagine, things are a little hectic over here right now.
You won't be able to get a lock on my ship interior due to the subspace manifolds. I'll go ahead and bring you aboard. Welcome aboard. I'm Cal Dano.
You moved me here without crossing the intervening space. You have quantum teleportation technology.
Yes. We call it a transporter. It has a limited range, but it's useful for going from surface to ship.
Impossible! This ship's interior is massive, even though it's no bigger than a shuttle.
My ship uses compactified subspace folds. It's bigger on the inside.
This is all quite overwhelming. This Cal Dano person is another stranger from somewhere else. And you're here to help with our dying star? Oh. Yes, I suppose I can see how a star suddenly dying might attract someone's attention. It's an odd coincidence. We'd probably never have met if it weren't for the trouble with the star. My people have never really had any desire to go exploring out there. We've sent a few probes and met a couple of neighbors, but we're happy at home. We have what we need, so why risk it? guess this crisis answers that question. The galaxy is bigger than us. To survive, we need to look past just our own world. It sounds like you have a lot of experience in meeting other kinds of people. Maybe if we survive this, we can take the chance and learn more about each other. To talk about what we might have in common and what we have to offer. What can I do to help? My home is at risk. I want to do something. To be involved in solving this problem.
Welcome to my ship. Don't be alarmed. This vessel is from the 31st century, and it has some technology you may not recognize yet. I can assure you, though, that I'm here to help. Correct. I'm associated with the Temporal Division of... well, let's just say that I'm an ally from the future, and I'm here to save the Lucari star. No, I'm trying to prevent changes. Someone's tampered with this star. It's not supposed to die out here. The Lucari don't disappear today, at least not if we have any say in it. I have some technology that can help, but we'll need to rework it in order to repair the star's fusion processes. What I need you to do is help me align this matrix to match the star's original spectrum. I'll regulate the device's main power state from this console. Like whoever tried to destabilize the Lucari stars decided to come knocking. Let's see who... They're packing a real wallop! Shields just went down! We have incoming!
What are they?
Holy! Keep them away! I need to finish these computations! I have the device shielded in a force field, but I can't deploy it until these folians are out of the way. Shields are back up! They shouldn't be able to get any more force. Got a breather. Now I just have to charge the device and prepare it for use. In just a few minutes, it'll propagate a quantum wave shift that should correct the star's stalled fusion process. You should head back to your ship, and I'll send the administrator back home. The device is charging. We should be just a few minutes away from repairing the star now.
Give us the talks, mutant.
arrived at our home system. They're attacking our homeworld. We don't have any way to repel starships like this. Please help us. Please, you have to stop them. We don't have any warships or space weapons.
But the Tholians managed to steal the Tox Utot while they had my ship whipped. That must have been their plan all along. My data suggests that the Tholians used a trilithium warhead to destabilize the star. But the amount of resources needed to build such a weapon makes it inefficient, to say the least. No, I suspect that somehow they knew that I'd come here to save this star, and that I would bring the Tox Utot. Fortunately, the Lukari star is safe. However, nobody else will be as long as the Tholians have that device. They could use it to snuff out or destabilize stars anywhere they want. I have some thoughts on that, but I will need to do some calculations. These events, the Tox Utot itself, are tied up in the temporal cold war. The Tholians may not care. By using the Tox Utot, they risk distorting the timeline by wiping out civilizations that are supposed to survive into the future, such as the Lukari. I'll be in touch. At least now the Lukari will have a promising future.
Caldano is correct. You have preserved our future. My people will be forever grateful, not to mention my personal gratitude, of course. I think we have a bright future ahead of us, if you'll forgive my play on words. I am eager to see where it leads. Thank you once again. I wish I could ask you about your science, your trade, your society. But I suppose there will be time for all of that now that our crisis has been averted.
I think our friend the administrator here is going to need a ride home. Would you mind? If you'll pick her up and take her home, I'll start looking for more data about the Tholians' plans.
Amazing amount of information about what happened to this star. Thank you for bringing me along. Once we're back in Allied space, I'll take a shuttle home.
A first contact is a significant event for the Federation. We will be glad to open a dialogue with the Lukari people. Unfortunately, the loss of the Tox Utat is troubling. We have some reports about this device from when Jean-Luc Picard encountered it on Ryza in 2366. And obviously, we can't let the Tholians keep a piece of future technology that can destabilize stars. We'll have to deal with that later. The Tox Utat has fallen into the hands of the Tholians. Our intelligence indicates increased Tholian activity in the Nakul system. Caldano believes they are trying to interfere with the Nakul in the present because of actions they will take in the future. Caldano has asked you to rendezvous with him in the Nakul system.
Good to see you again. Thank you for responding to my message so quickly. The Tholians have the quantum phase inhibitor. I've tracked their ship to this system, and I'm detecting some telltale quantum fluctuations within the star. They're trying to use the device. We need to stop them and recover it. First, however, we need to help the Nakul. At this point in their history, they're not prepared to repel a Tholian attack.
Unidentified vessel. You have entered our space without authorization. If you are an ally of the Tholians, leave now. We have done nothing to provoke their attacks, but we will defend ourselves. Thank you. My people have few warships. Any assistance you could provide against the Tholians would be appreciated. It's as if the star's nuclear fusion is decaying at an increased rate. So this is your fault? Why would you make such a terrible thing? You caused this problem. I expect you to fix it, or we will hold you and your people responsible for the consequences.
Never made that device. I would... never made that device. I was only focused on the idea, on whether it was possible. I didn't stop to think of all the harm it could do in the wrong hands. We have to stop the Tholians before they shut down the star's fusion. If that happens, the effect on this system will be devastating. The Nakul will lose their home, and life will probably never develop here again. They should have never made that device. The lead Tholian ship has the quantum phase inhibitor. They're going to use it on the star. We have to stop them. Board that vessel and get it back! Back from them in the first place. we've docked with the Tholian ship. The good news is that my scans indicate the quantum phase inhibitor is on the bridge. All we need to do is go get it. The bad news is that the Tholians know we're here. They're not going to give up without a fight. The Tholians come from an environment that is extremely hazardous to most humanoids. You and your team will need environment suits to survive. And opportunistic in your time as mine. Closer to the Tox Utot. Stay alert. The bridge should be just ahead. Before the rest of the Tholians get here to stop us. Finally, we have the quantum phase inhibitor. I brought this device through time to hide it from the Vorgons, but I never thought the Tholians would steal it. Now we need to hide it where it will be safe from both of them. Are you ready? This will be a longer trip than you're used to taking.
Set a course for the Ryza system.
Ryza, early 22nd century. Even the tourists won't be in this region for a few years yet. No one will be looking for the quantum phase inhibitor here. Not now, anyway. Let's try that cave up ahead. It looks like a good spot. Wow, rain on Ryza. I guess they haven't installed the weather control systems yet. We have to hide the device very well. I can't afford to let it fall into the wrong hands again, and the Vorgons are very persistent. No, that's too obvious. Anyone could find it there. That's better, but I still think it will be too easy to find. That's it. Someone will find it in a few hundred years, but that's a different story for a different captain. Let's get back to your time. We need to check on the Nakul. Setting course.
We need to get back to the Nakul.
Return the talks with Ted, and we will let you live.
Responding to a temporal distress call. Do you require assistance? Our son! What did you do? I'm sure that will be a great comfort to our citizens as they freeze to death. You have done quite enough. Leave us alone. Time travelers and malcontents and Tholians. The whole lot of you can fall into a black hole. Now, go. We have to figure out how to save our people. And then we'll take steps to protect ourselves. Time is a weapon, and it will never be turned against us again.
This is Captain Benjamin Walker of the USS Postok. I'm responding to an emergency temporal transmission from these space-time coordinates, but we are no longer detecting the source of these transmissions. Did you lose a time traveler? I think you better come aboard while we resolve this. Prepare for transport.
Welcome aboard. First time aboard a time ship? This ship is from the 27th century. Our mission is to maintain the space-time continuum and deal with situations like these. We need to scan the continuum for Caldano. Would you care to assist me? Were you able to locate Caldano? Enter the temporal coordinates into the transporter. What happened with Caldano? No, this was meant to happen. Caldano went further back into the past than you knew. The NX-01 Enterprise, captained by Jonathan Archer, found his ship in the 22nd century, and his chief engineer activated Caldano's emergency temporal circuit, which returned the ship to its last known time, this one. But by the time that happened, Caldano had been dead for centuries. The Tox Uthon is safe. It was found in the mid-24th century by Captain Jean-Luc Picard, who destroyed it before it could be used to harm others. Altering the past causes ripples. The effects move through time, shifting everything they touch, and it may take eons for all of them to be seen. The Nakul will survive, although their homeworld will be lost. They will become time travelers themselves, and their actions in the temporal Cold War shape the galaxy you now know. There are some things you shouldn't change, that you can't change. You could check Captain Archer's old logs for more information, but you will know all about it soon enough. You are entering a dangerous era in history. Time travel, like warp drive before it, will radically change your society. I'll see you again. We have a lot to do.
This is a sad day for the Federation. We failed to save the Nakul system. And our friend from the future, Caldano, is dead. I know you did everything you could. Sometimes, especially when we venture into time travel, things must play out a certain way. So, at least the timeline has been preserved. Captain Picard can now find the Tox Uthon on Risa in the 24th century. Still, let us mourn for Caldano and the Nakul people. We have been contacted by the Federation from the 29th century. Their Temporal Integrity Commission is charged with protecting the timeline from factions who might want to change history. Considering our recent experiences, we feel the need to better understand the rules of time travel. However, it's important we don't know too much about the future, so we have decided to designate one representative to learn what we need to know. Given your record, you were the logical choice. You are to rendezvous with the USS Postok. Her captain will give you a more thorough briefing upon arrival.
counseling staff is hosting an open house at 12:30 hours. Raktoshino and light refreshments will be available.
USS Postok.
It's a pleasure to see you again. I'm glad you were selected as your Time's representative. I can't imagine a better selection. Of course, I already knew you were going to be chosen, but that doesn't change my appreciation. Your recent experiences with time travel have begun a new phase of development, and a perilous one at that. Understanding the rules of time travel is of vital importance. Time travel can be a very seductive tool. Many would use it benevolently to save lives, worlds, entire civilizations. Many more, however, would use it for conquest, vengeance, even genocide. Unsupervised tampering with the timeline can be disastrous, good intentions or not. Prior to the Accords, reckless time travel led to a great war that nearly undid existence itself. In its aftermath, a coalition was formed to stabilize the timeline and enforce its protection. Your alliance, the Federation, the Klingon Empire, and the Romulan Republic, form the historical basis of this coalition. It's vital that the Alliance holds together. In timelines where the Alliance fails, let's just say it wasn't pretty. In other branches, the coalition grows beyond the Alliance, and eventually forms the Galactic Union. The Union proposes a treaty to protect the timeline and restrict the use of time travel. We call this treaty the Temporal Accords. It might be the most important event in known history. I would like to take you to witness the signing of the Accords, so you can see for yourself what the work of the Alliance will lead to, and how important it is to future civilizations. Of course, you must promise to be circumspect in your reports and conversations with others when you return. We don't want to create any disruptions or paradoxes. Are you ready to visit the future?
Welcome to Kittimer.
Here we are. Since you're from the past, I'll be your chaperone during the event, hopefully protecting you from any temporal incidents. Purely procedural, of course. You've already demonstrated your ability to remain silent about things you aren't supposed to know. Welcome, gentle being, to the signing of the Temporal Accords. Your biosigns aren't listed on our register today. I'll need to... wait. I know you. I wrote a paper about you in classical history class at the Academy. I must say, you look much younger than your holo images. Wait, what year did you come from? Oh, that explains why you look so young. Well, you sure have an eventful future ahead of you. Forget I said that. I'm not supposed to say things like that. To be honest, I'm still getting used to the new temporal regulations. They can be a little confusing. Anyway, the TIC crews are scrubbing the hull for anything that might cause a paradox if visitors from the past, like yourself, encounter them. It will be just a few moments. Perhaps you would like to chat with some of our other guests here in the lobby. I believe they have all been cleared for trans-temporal interactions. I'm sure you'll have plenty to talk about.
Greetings, friend. How may I help you? Where do I start? I'm 157 years old. That's only because I spent 90 years caught in a temporal distortion. Back then, I was serving as an ensign under Captain Bateson on the USS Bozeman. After that, integrating back into Starfleet was... difficult. So much had changed. Some of my shipmates joined temporal investigations. Their first-hand knowledge of past events was quite useful. Seemed like a way to make a difference. So that's where I ended up as well.
The Nakul are here to protest the signing of these unlawful, biased accords. The Tholians ravaged our homeworld thanks to the Federation's ineptitude. In one dark moment, my people were scattered throughout the stars. All we were, our history, our way of life, was nearly lost. And when we needed the Federation the most, we were denied. Terrorists, they called us. Criminals, the dregs of the galaxy. These words, these deeds will never be forgotten or forgiven. Today, the Federation and their lackeys come to tell the galaxy which timeline is best and what they'll do to keep it that way. But who are they to dictate such terms? To tell us that their history is more important than ours? My existence has been nothing but hardship and pain. The life of an exile. I'd gladly sacrifice it to restore my homeworld and prevent the mass exodus of my people. Don't tell me you wouldn't do the same were our places reversed.
Attention all guests. The main hall is now open. Please make your way to your seats.
Well, one of our very special guests. It is so nice to meet you. I am Wixit, your humble master of ceremonies for this historic event. Quite an honor, wouldn't you say? So exciting! This ceremony is about to begin, so you should find your seat. But I'd love to chat with you after the sign. Well, one of our very...
The Tholian Assembly has decided to support the Accords. We are concerned that a rogue individual or species could disrupt our development. The Accords do not go far enough. We want to end all time travel for any reason. We will continue to lobby for change aggressively. Should the Union fail to preserve the timeline, the Assembly will succeed by any means necessary. That is all.
Time travel the cowards on me. Every conspiracy that has not made an effort, rather than a memory of the past, a dream of the future.
The Accords promise to safeguard the time stream for us all. I can't help but ponder the opportunities for temporal abuse that will remain after they are signed. I fear great imbalance could occur, despite the very good intentions of all the signatories involved.
I am honored by the Founders and pleased to observe this most historic event. Although the Dominion was not greatly affected by the development of time travel, we have an interest in safeguarding the time stream.
Jolan True, you are from the past, from before the time the Romulans joined the Federation, I'll wager. How strange all of this must be for you. The entire galaxy unites in preserving the timeline. This is truly a momentous day for all.
I must say, I am privileged to witness this historic event. Truly, it is a singular honor. I'm humbled, as I'm sure you are as well.
The Sindhi are no strangers to temporal affairs. The tragic conflict with Earth in the 22nd century and our manipulation by the Sphere Builders are matters of deep shame for us all. We support the Accords with the hope that they will prevent such tragedies from this day forth.
The Nakul are not here to sign these accords. We have already been victims of time-traveling aliens. But somehow this incursion into the timeline has been overlooked. Perhaps because of its importance to the founding of the Galactic Union. We proposed an amendment to restore our home world in the timeline, but it was rejected. Therefore we are here, with all eyes of the galaxy upon us, to point out the hypocrisy and unlawfulness of these accords.
Delegates and honored guests, your attention please. The signing ceremony is about to begin. Please take your seats.
Representatives from dozens of species have gathered to witness this historic event. It looks like they are getting ready to begin the formal signing. Of course, this is largely ceremonial. The negotiation. Wait, there is some kind of disturbance.
This oppression will not stand. The time stream shall be free. We will liberate the galaxy from the tyranny of the temporal accords. We shall wipe the stain of the Federation from history.
Quick, get the delegates to safety. The Krenim are taking the delegates hostage. The Krenim have grabbed the delegates and are holding them hostage in some nearby offices. This is damn peculiar. We're facing a major temporal flux here. The hostiles have neutralized... The Krenim have grabbed the delegates and are holding them hostage in some nearby offices. This is damn peculiar. We're facing a major temporal flux here. The hostiles have neutralized embassy security, but it looks like they weren't expecting us to be here. It's up to us to rescue the delegates. Watch out! More Krenim leaning in! More Krenim! Neutralize them as quickly as possible. We need to save those delegates.
Anybody hear us? The Krenim are holding us hostage at the embassy offices. Please, anyone, help!
The Krenim are holding us hostage, requesting immediate assistance.
Hang on, we're on our way.
Cooperate, and you won't be harmed. Resist, and your safety cannot be guaranteed.
My life path was at an end. My thanks for proving me wrong.
It was a good day to die for the Krenim.
You saved my world, and now you saved me. I'm beginning to like you.
I shall live to serve the Founders another day. My thanks to you, of course.
This wasn't supposed to happen. History says the Accords were signed and there was no mention of an attack.
Those look like Krenim ships.
This conference will not continue. I won't abide it. All ships fire at will. Leave no survivors.
The Nakul have used the Krenim attack as a cover to attack the temporal sensor array. All our forces are tied up fighting the Krenim. We can't afford to lose that array. It monitors the time stream for incursions. If it were damaged, people could travel into the past without being detected. Curious. The Krenim and Nakul vessels have started fighting each other in the confusion. Let's make the most of that, shall we? Engaging Anorax now. The more the merrier. Timeship project. Memory serves.
I thought as much. Something must have disturbed the timeline. I'm afraid you will need to return to your own time to investigate. I'll accompany you, but I can't interact with anybody from your time. I'll open a portal when you're ready. Are you ready now?
Welcome back to Kiana. We hadn't expected to see you again so soon. To what do we owe the pleasure? Noi? Well, he's been working on some secret project of late. To be honest, he's been more than a little hostile. And that's saying something for Noi. I was about to check in with him, if you would like to accompany me.
I thought I'd seen the last of you after you flew off to your great victory over the Iconians. Well, what do you want? I'm very busy. Come now, you can read, can't you? Access my latest report to command if you want to know what I'm working on. Feel free to waste the time of the charming bureaucrat standing next to you, but I'll thank you to stop wasting mine. Now, this interrogation is over. I've more important matters to attend to. Good day.
Like I said, more than a little hostile. He's been like this for some time now, and no one's sure why. Treason? Noi? I mean, sure, he's been difficult to work with, but... Oh, I hope you're wrong. Noi has top-level access to everything we're working on here. I don't need to tell you how much damage that could do in the wrong hands. Let me call up his files. He was working on the Anorax. Wait a minute. It looks like he was accessing the launch protocols and docking clamps.
I see you found my farewell gift, Tralla. I'm so glad. As for you, I'm taking command of the Anorax now. I can see that bothers you greatly. So will the numerous bombs I've left behind.
stole the Anorax? I can't believe it. How could he do such a thing? What drove him to betray us like this? There's only one way to find out. Computer, bring up the research notes and personal logs of researcher Noi. Authorization Trala 23, Victor 6 Sigma.
Please.
Personal log supplemental. We had some visitors from the Alliance today. Noi was rather rude to them, but I managed to smooth things over. This time. Still, he has good reason to be stressed. The war isn't going well, and there's a lot of pressure on him right now. He could be a bit more agreeable, however. Perhaps a peace offering. Those Terran snack cakes he's so fond of with the... what is the word? Nougat. I tried to tell him about the baby again last night, but he was so stressed out. I just couldn't add to his burden. Hopefully things will calm down a bit soon and I can tell him. On a positive note, my work is progressing quite well. I believe these logs should now be shielded from any kind of temporal incursion.
Please input your selection.
Personal log supplemental. My review of the time capsule files is complete. What I have learned has shocked me to the very core of my being. I had a wife, and she was pregnant. My wife and unborn child were murdered by the Federation and their allies. They devastated my people, murdered my family, and erased an entire species from time and space. I cannot let this stand. This I vow. I shall not rest until I have restored my family or avenged their deaths. Time itself shall be the instrument of my vengeance.
Please input your selection below.
Personal log supplemental. At last, I have found them, the Tutarians, or rather, what they have become. Some of them managed to escape the treachery of the Federation, finding sanctuary in a trans-dimensional void. They are powerful, so powerful that some primitive species worship them like gods, and yet they are trapped in their realm, no longer able to exist within prime space. But I can help them. I can release them from Durance Vile. With these builders at my side, I shall have my vengeance for Clouda.
Please input your selection. Download code.
What the? We're under attack!
Noi has returned, and he's made a number of potent modifications to his ship. We could use some help up here with him and his allies.
I have been waiting for this for a long time. At last, I take the first fateful steps upon my path of vengeance. As always, your thinking is so limited. For you, it has been moments, but for me, it has been years. Years of planning, building, all to return to this moment in time, to end you. Oh, but it does, believe me. You took them. My wife, my unborn child. Time was your weapon then. And it is mine now. With it, I will eradicate your wretched alliance, just as you wiped the Tutarians from history. But first things first. It's time for you to die.
This is Walker. We've got our hands full with Noi over here, but we'll keep him busy while you defend the station. We could use a hand once it's secure, though. Anorax packs quite a punch. we left a few minutes ago. Out there with a ship like the Anorax is a real big problem. One step at a time. Let's get you back to the 25th century once you're ready for the trip.
So, Noi turned against us, huh? This is troublesome. With his theft of the Anorax, he poses a great threat to the galaxy. Sadly, I don't think we've seen the last of him. The surprise actions of the Nakul are also a concern. What could they be up to? Regardless, I think you'll agree, the battlefield just got a lot bigger. The data from the future you've provided has made it clear. We need to form a stronger alliance with the major galactic factions. To that end, we're sending delegates to the First Alliance Summit. This could be the beginning of a new age, and your presence there could ensure the summit's success. Meet our delegation at the embassy on New Romulus.